So my good friend Cal did a video a few months ago called What Other Trans YouTubers Aren't Telling You. The gist of it is, if you don't fall into the far left side of the SJW LGBT community, in my case, you're automatically labeled a TERF, a bigot. In his case, you're automatically labeled a misogynist or toxic masculinity. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I am the only lesbian that consistently features different types of trans people on her channel. Has been featuring them for the past 5 years, and simultaneously also gets the most hate out of every other lesbian on YouTube. And then people wonder why no one else is promoting trans voices. Because here's the truth, and this is what you've been waiting to hear if you clicked on this video. What other YouTube lesbians and even gay men on YouTube at this point aren't telling you is that they're fucking terrified to even touch on any trans topics. About the blatant misogyny that the SJW trans activists promote. About how the left is so far left at this point that they are suggesting conversion therapy and hiding it behind the idea of queer progressiveness. About how some bisexual YouTubers have made videos and statements, public statements, saying that our genital preferences hold bias, when in reality it's not a bias, it's not a preference, it's our sexual orientation, and it's not something that we can help. About how little gay men are actually policed for their sexual orientation in comparison to lesbians. Not very much at all. How many gay men see what's happening on Twitter and on YouTube and don't say anything because they're fucking terrified to stand up for lesbian and bisexual women? Shout out to Callum, Skylar, and like a few other gay men, and I think a few other bisexual men that have actually stood up for us recently. Thank you so much. How often other LGBT YouTubers agree with what I have to say but divert their eyes and don't say anything on Twitter publicly because they're terrified of being labeled a transphobe? How many of them are worried that corporate brands won't want to work with someone who has the label of transphobe when that label isn't even accurate? No one wants to talk about the fact that trans activists are literally making shirts and Tumblr and Twitter accounts with slogans like "Kill all TERFs" and are being praised by the media for doing so. And you can say that TERFs include men, but we all know that women and lesbians are the actual targets here. Regardless of what you hear on the internet or what people have said about me, my issue was never with trans women calling themselves lesbians. What I do care about is people redefining the word lesbian and then expecting me and hating me for not living by their redefinition of it. My sexual orientation is not something that is under my control. It's not something that I can help. And to many of the SJWs that I know that are watching this, your attraction to more than one body type doesn't make you any wiser or less shallow. Why is it that the only things that are required to include all people always start out female-based? Feminism equals equality for all. And now lesbianism and sexual desire should equal attraction to all bodies. And women are expected to just sit back and, take what's given to us and be the good women that society expects us to be. I have seen countless voices on Twitter, prominent people in the community, suggesting that the word lesbianism and lesbian is stale. I'm sorry I'm a boring ass, basic ass lesbian. But you know what? It's not fucking harmful to anyone else other than ourselves to try to change our own sexual orientation because you don't think we're cool enough. We had Lily Cade, a lesbian porn star, bashed online because she publicly stated that she didn't want to sleep with someone who had a penis. Chelsea Poe, a trans woman porn star, demanded that Lily justify and explain herself. No one ever needs to justify what they choose to do with their own body, who or what it comes into contact with. Shaming women for their sexual choices is not activism, and it's certainly not progressive. Being attacked and laughed at for only being attracted to female bodies as a female-bodied person isn't something new. Society thinks that gay men are gay, that bisexual men are also gay, that bisexual women are straight, and that lesbians are somehow bisexual, because true attraction to the female form is fucking laughed at. First, it was about straight males, then it was about gay males, and now it's all about being queer. When will it ever be about females? Just something to think about.